Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Budi Pranoto. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. My name is Budi Pranoto. In this session, I'd like to present my research entitled Learn Through 9 Games: Insight from Student Perspective of Humor Used in EFL Classroom. This research was conducted by two researchers. The first is I, Budi Pranoto, and my co-researcher named Suprayogi. We come from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, Lampung Province. This research was motivated by the idea that we want to have a innovative pedagogical approach in doing learning and teaching sessions in EFL context. Because there are many researchers who believe that humor implemented in EFL classroom is not only medium to generate laughter, but also to improve learners' motivation and self-confidence to enhance their language competence and also performance. So we try to modify our learning method by combining several approaches, and now we think that there are many humorous contents and also humorous material that can be applied in EFL context, because at the end of the day, we want to have a lively classroom activities and also enjoyable pedagogical setting that can ease and also reduce the tension in the class. Because sometimes students who learn English as their foreign language, they have burden to talk, because they think that okay, when I talk, I can make mistakes, people will laugh at me. And then I'm afraid what I'm talking about is not correct. Therefore, we try to reduce the tensions by applying a pedagogical method that can be categorized as the appropriate one. And then there are many researchers claiming that this humorous material can help ease the student in improving their speaking ability and also in making classroom as the enjoyable moment for the student. And then despite all the numerous influential advantages of humor implemented in EFL classroom, we believe that this research is still considered as an important thing to do in order to formulate greater understanding of learners' perspective to reveal of how humor operates in EFL classroom. So the aim of this research is to reveal what about the perceptions of students regarding to the humorous material taken from 9gag social media in the class. We want to see whether those humorous meme inserted during the learning sessions of English as foreign language is beneficial to them, and to see how they respond to that. Talking about that, according to Wagner and also Urios in 2011, they claim that humor has the power to create a more relaxing classroom setting atmosphere, which affects student feelings, lower their anxiety, and also make them more motivated during learning session. And then meanwhile, according to Fata, appropriate humor does not only transform EFL classroom setting into a fun one, but also motivate and encourage students to be more active during learning sessions. This is what we want to have in EFL settings. Moreover, according to Faharani and also Abdullahi, he stated that humor incorporated in English classroom improved EFL learners' speaking ability and their willingness to communicate. Meanwhile, according to Rima, Mary, Huang, and also Antonio, they claim that humor added in English class would help students to process higher understanding in mastering new language. Following the same claim, Glenn in 2003 also added that these barriers include the absence of information retention, and then lack of attentions and the topic discussed, and an unpleasant learning settings. Meanwhile, in 2006, Al-Gulaimi and Aziz claimed that in language learning environment, the use of humor cannot only serve as a means of amusement, but it is a matter of rehearsal which entails not necessarily fun, but as a means of developing linguistic skill. So The nature of 9-gag memes are narrated in English, so we believe that by adding those memes, we try to stimulate student curiousness in trying to understand the meaning of a language learned. Therefore, we decide to have a qualitative method by observing 30 students in EFL settings. We give them questionnaire and also we observe them during the learning sessions. So we want to reveal the learners, English learners' perspective on humorous memes taken from 9-gag social media platform used in EFL classroom. The process are started from the data collections and also data analysis, and then we have the learner's perspective on humorous memes used in EFL classroom. We move to the result of this study. So based on the questions items distributed to the questionnaire, there are several questions here. The first is 9-gag memes, humorous memes reduce stress, and then it is agreed by the total of the student, 100% of them agree that 9-gag humorous memes reduce the tensions in the class. And then the second one is that 9-gag humorous memes help learners to remember the lessons. For about 90% of the students claim that 9-gag humorous memes help them learn and remember the lesson better. Meanwhile, only 10% would disagree with this opinion. And the next one is that 9-gag humorous memes engage learner participations in classroom. It is agreed by 80% of the students, and then the rest of them, for about 20%, disagree with this. And then 9-gag humorous meme mainly promotes learner active participations. For about 85% of the students agree with these questions, and only 50% of them disagree with this one. And next question is about 9-gag humorous memes eases English learning. For about 88% of the students agreed with these notions, and then 12% of them disagree with these notions. Meanwhile, according to them, all of them agreed that the memes taken from 9-gag social media platform is relevant to the study of English, because like I told you previously that the nature of 9-gag memes are narrated in English. Therefore, they consider this one as relevant to the study of English as foreign language. Meanwhile, there are many assumptions when the teacher tried to be humorous in the class, making jokes and delivering some funny gesture and so on. They are afraid that they will be considered as a clown in the class, as the source of love for the student. But in this study, it revealed that for about 95% of the total respondents, they claim that no, student who produce humor and also joke in the class is not considered as a clown or comedy. Rather, they considered as someone who can make the class into the fun one. And then it is also supported by 93% of the students who claim that by having those humorous activities like giving a 9-gag funny memes in the class, producing jokes and so on, it reduced the gap among learners and also between learners and the teacher. In the discussion, it can be seen that based on the analysis of the questionnaire, it is indicated that 100% of the students appraised that 9-gag humorous memes reduce stress, because all of them believe that those memes are funny and it can reduce the stress that we have during learning sessions. This is in line with Wagner and also Urios, who stated that humor relaxes classroom setting atmosphere, affecting student feeling, lower their anxiety and make them more motivated. And then for about 80% of the students claim that 9-gag humorous meme engage learner participation in classroom by reducing unfriendliness and also encouraging cooperation and also learning. This support FATA claim that humor motivates and encourages students to be more active during learning sessions. And Another discussion is that 90% of the students claim that those memes help learners to remember the lesson. This claim affirms the claim that the learner's speaking ability is improved in the research conducted by Faharani and Abdullahi in 2018. They say that by incorporating humor in TFL classroom, the speaking ability and also the willingness to communicate of the learners are improved. This claim also support the result of a research conducted by Rima, Mary, Huang, and also Antonio, which claim that the presence of humor in the class is students to master new language. And then another finding is that 9-gag memes are naturally narrated in English. Therefore, all respondents are surely agreed that they were essential and relevant with English language learning process. And then the last finding is that more than 90% of learners firmly agree that humorous teacher is not considered as a clown or comedian, yet they mostly claim that humor delivered in the class decreases gap between teachers and students. Those are the findings that we found during our research and observations about this issue. And then the conclusion and the suggestions that we have is that based on the result and the discussions, it's explicate that most of learners claim that humorous material can reduce their stress during the learning sections, and also it develop a better relationship among learners and also teachers and make them learn the lesson better. And also the presence of humor in the class encourage students and also motivate them to be more actively involved in classroom activities. Meanwhile, the suggestion that we can have is that we plan to have another research studying the teacher perception on the use of humor in the classroom. Therefore, we can have the comparisons between the student perspective and also the teacher perspective. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for the attention. I close this presentation by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning.